Okay, we're recording.
I wanted to do something though. Okay, we found a couple parts here to swap out. We got a bigger sprocket here. Same size. This shaft here is a half dowel undersize, so I think somebody sanded the hell out of this thing. That's why it's got all these sanding marks in there, trying to hide the bad parts. So here's one that hasn't been sanded, so you can still see all the bad areas. So this is better than this one, I think. It's a little bit bigger. So we're going to swap this one out here also. We swapped out the high gear dog, we got a bigger one. We got 3 screws, we got a couple bad ones. We're going to go ahead and swap out the second gear here one. This one's rounded off here, and this one's not quite as bad, but it's close, but not a little bit better. So we'll swap that around too.
It's a press-on fit, right?
No, it just slides on.
Oh, just slides on?
So here's a used 2-piece shaft, kicker gear shaft. I want to see if the gear was oversized. It's about the normal China fit these days. Used to be they were press-on. So the problem is definitely in your shaft. We already know that because we can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
That just compares it, so we can fix that up. We can do that if we fix it.
Yeah.
So we'll compare all that. So the only thing we don't know for sure is this gear here.
Screw over here. That's the FX and FL gear, right?
Yeah, I have one over here somewhere I was looking for. Every time I sell one of these, I hate it because I don't have one. Okay, this one's marked FL. This is the later model setup, but the teeth are the same count.
Mm-hmm.
So all we gotta do is lay them on there and see if they're the same. So it looks like they're the same, kind of. So we're gonna see where the mark is at. My mark is right there. So what you do is you mark them.
Now that's not an FX tumbler, is it?
This is FL.
FL.
So here's our line right here.
Okay.
So it goes between these two teeth right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I go ahead and mark these so we know where they're at. The line is at. And yours is right here. And you always want to mark this stuff so you can see it when you go to put it together. In this case, we're going to look at it so we can compare it. Now, the matching one is the one that's ground, or has a little dimple in it. So this one here, they're all cut down a little bit. So this here's one that matters, is this one.
That's when you time it on.
This is the timing one, yes. So
And that's what they didn't have timed, huh?
we put lots of marks so we can see it, see? Should be able to see that.
Yeah.
And you make sure there's no other mark in case somebody's playing with it. And then, if you have a known good one, like this one is, this one here is a flat spot casted in it.
Mm-hmm.
See, everyone does them a little different how they identify them.
And that's your tumbler timing mark, right?
Yes. So we'll make sure the drum is the same. So if you put them both up the same, then you look at them. Make sure they go the same direction. See the drop mark. See how the high gear and high gear is in the same spot. So the linings, they line up good. And check the low gear. And make sure it lines up. You can see it has the correct marking, see how they line up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, the FX gear, as I recall, the neutral is the biggest problem, is they put it, it's over here.
Mm-hmm.
Because they reversed the pattern. So this is over here, and then they moved this 1 or 2 spots. I forget how many, but it's moved only 1 or 2. The biggest thing is the neutral's in a different spot. That's how you can identify them pretty quickly, but we're double checking to see if our marks are good. So all the marks are here to do it correctly, they just didn't do it correctly. Instead of having to get it like that, they probably had it over here or something like this, because they're way the hell off. Okay, so we know that part is
God.
okay. So we double checked all that. And you want to put a new bushing in this, you said?
Yeah,
Okay, so we got to swap out our second gear.
and a new bushing.
We put our new bushing in it. I didn't see another one of these laying around, so we just have to live with this. It looks like crap, but it'll do the job.
We gave me a new high gear or low gear.
New to you.
Yeah, well, it's a better one.
Better, it's high. See, it's
Right,
high.
it's high.
These have to go in only one way, high.
Okay,
This goes toward high, this side goes to third.
okay.
See the ramping?
Yep.
Reverse it goes the opposite direction.
Okay.
So if you put it in, this is the drive side, and it'll keep popping out of gear,
Mm-hmm.
just like it's worn out. So you start over here, it's clean.
Mm.
So you have to put them in correctly. This one here, doesn't matter which way it goes. It goes the same either way because there's no directional to it.
Okay.
So we can actually flip this, put the low gear as the bad side, put second gear as the good side.
Okay.
That's how you make it work a little better. Alright, so we need to... What do I need to go look for? I forgot. I need a bushing. I was going to look at something else. Alright, let me go find a bushing and we'll go from there. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Recording.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and lock the tight stud in here. That sit up overnight, so get this part done now. A lot of Loctite in here to seal the hole up. It's supposed to be a tight fit. Need more in the threads.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in there now. Go ahead and seal it. I'm going to use our capillary action Loctite. We can lay that inside of here on top of all these other ones to help seal them in. But I'm not going to do that right now because I want to check the bearings in here, see if this case race is going to be any good. And this here, I'm just going to keep using the screw they used out here.
Okay.
Or if you had more money, you can take the late shaft, and it has a snap ring groove right here. It just slides in the groove. The snap ring keeps it from coming out. Instead of running the screw on the outside.
Well, which one you want to use?
The screw will do the job.
Okay.
We just want to make sure it won't come out.
Right.
So they've already butchered the case. We're doing it. We'll just duplicate
They've already
it.
done it, huh?
Otherwise, I would have put the snap ring style, which I think came out in '79.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shaft. It has a groove here instead of having the notch over on this side here. So they just made it different.
So we just lock tight in the screw right here.
Yeah, we'll Loctite and glue it and
Okay.
stick it and do all the stuff we need to do to make it work. That way we're not going to spend any more money than we have to.
Yeah, I
I'm going to
know.
leave all this crap like it is. It is what it is.
We'll see what happens, huh?
Yeah, it's just a piece of crap, piece of crap. Oh well.
Should we put a piece of JB weld over this?
This I'm going to have to JB weld tonight before we go home.
Okay.
And I got Loctite it too. I could also use the capillary Loctite too to do it, but either way will work. I'm going to clean it up, but I'm going to definitely glue all these studs in too. You could put a little bit of junk on them too, but I think I just put the sealer on, it'd be easier. Okay, so now when I got to figure out all the bearings, we don't know what we're going to do about that yet. I got to Loctite that bushing if we're going to go with that tonight, so we'll set up overnight. I want to make sure this bushing doesn't fall out. That's supposed to be a press fit in there, and it's a light press fit because it comes in and out. It's not exactly a heavy press. It's just enough it won't come out. So you want to Loctite that in if you're going to use this. I think we'll just use it, but
The lid?
yeah, if it breaks, it breaks. Oh well.
Okay.
Everything else in train is about the same condition.
It is too, huh?
Yes.
God.
Except for the shift forks, they're new.
I wonder why they did that. I wonder what the other ones look like.
They must have been worse. Okay, I want to go through and check all these bearings and make sure that our bearings are good. sure there's no oversized ones snuck in here. Make sure there's no pitting on these things. Make sure they're actually new. So they should be 0.
Was it a 0?
Yeah, it's 125, which is what they are, 1/8 inch diameter. So we just go through here and check every one of these. And if there's any differences, we'll throw them in a different file here. So you can go ahead and cut that off. You don't need to watch me do this and get bored.
Okay, record.
Alright, we got all the bearings all measured up. They're all standard, more or less. Okay, we went ahead and grind all the crap right here. Got down to clean metal so the JB weld will stick. So we're going to use a little bit of JB weld. That's why we call it JB weld. There's other epoxy you can use too if you wanted to. This just happens to work. I like the 24-hour setup shit, not the 10-minute stuff or 5-minute stuff, whatever, the quick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The quick stuff is this color here. It doesn't seem to stick. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't stick to Harley cases for crap. The 24-hour stuff is this stuff. It moves around a lot, but it's when you put it on, it stays on. So we care about it staying on, not setting up quick. So you got to put equal quantities, or at least close.
At least close to it, huh?
Does that look equal to you?
Yep.
Good. It might be more white than black, but maybe it's 60-40. It looks gray, so it must be the right color, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you get it off your screwdriver too, because you don't want that to be mixed in there either. Alright, looks about the right color. Somewhere in there's epoxy. I like to beat it in there, make sure it's sticking good to the material.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like primers it in. But don't aerate it. And then just put a nice leave and coat all the way across. A lot of surface area, so it's got good tension for holding. See, that goes on like Jello. Taper it in and call it done.
Looks good.
And smooth out the excess here so it makes it smoother when it sets up.
So you can use your board again.
Yeah, well, I fill in the cracks in the board as I'm going, see. It's expensive Bondo. But that way it's never real uneven. You want to get that rag dirty? I'll go get a rag dirty I didn't care about.
Okay.
Now some people just leave it on their screwdriver and not worry about it. But you know that wouldn't be me.
No.
If you go like that, it sticks to your hands. So.
Yeah, it does.
Alright, so now you come back over here and you take off the little excess right there. Take it off the gasket surface now so you don't have to worry about it later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably going to ooze out as it sets up. So if you make it, it wants to set up from gravity, so if you jack this up a little bit to where this is the same height as on the inside, it'll flow in on naturally.
Yep.
So basically we got like a wrench underneath, that's all we need. We got a crescent wrench right there. You see that? You just look at it, make sure it's about the right level, and looks like it's about the right level. So we'll just let that set there for a while like that. We're also letting our red Loctite set up too. So we'll let that set up for a half hour or so, and I'll go ahead and work on this gear over here. So we'll flip that off, we'll come back in a minute. You need to film me watching looking for tools, do you?
Okay. Alright, first thing I do is press this off.
push this out. So which one do we have? I'm going to try this one first. If that doesn't work, we'll try a different one. That didn't work for shit.
No.
No.
Was it stuck?
It pushed it sideways. Alright. Try the other one. This one I wasn't sure if it'd go through or not. I still don't know. It's pushing it, that's for sure. I'm gonna knock this out. We'll try that same bushing from the other side now. It does fit in there, so I wasn't sure. It's only got about 15 thou clearance. You always want the biggest one you can, but I didn't want to expand the gear and break it either, so I had to move it first before I used it. Now we just push this out. Just till we get down to here. It should go in. Yep. Smells like rotten tranny oil in there, Dan.
Does it?
Did you change your underwear this week?
No.
That is how you don't take the bushing out.
Split right down the middle, huh?
It was already split down the middle.
Oh, was it? Are they supposed to be like that?
It's a clamshell bushing, so it's made.
That one's not split.
Where's my other one at? There it is. What's not split?
This one.
Usually they are. That one's solid, huh? Yeah. Most times they're split. Oh well. Now they got two ways of putting these in. See, this one the groove doesn't go all the way to the outside edge. This one does. So if you put it in this way here like that, the oil can come out. If you put it in like that, the oil has less chance of coming out. Of course, we know which way you want to do it.
No, I want less oil.
You want less oil, not
Less,
more oil?
No.
Oh, yeah. Don't you want to go the other way? Usually I push it from the other side, but in this case I'm going to do it this way. Go back to the one that fits in there just barely. Which one was that? It's a big one. Let me go down a little bit further. Just past our chamfer, it's close enough. Usually this thing sticks through quite a way, so this one doesn't. I wonder if this one had enough room to put a seal in there. It's just I didn't have the seal in it. Maybe. Because this normally sticks through pretty far. We go measure gear. Maybe we do have a late gear here. This is a late gear. Close. See how far it sticks through?
Mm-hmm.
So we might be able to make this fly. About 4:30. And you're at no. Not really. Be pretty tight. Might be able to squeeze one in there, but it'd be hard.
This looks like it's different right here.
It's a little shorter. Oh, that's right. It is cut bigger. Yeah, it doesn't cut for a seal.
That's cut for a seal?
That one is. This one's not. Yeah, because it's different chamfer size.
Mm.
See how thick it is here? That's how you can tell. It's also about 40 thou shorter here on this side.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't work. So this is a non-seal one. It is the correct early gear. It just look like it. Don't do too many of these early ones. All right, so we know we got to use this one.
Yep.
So we'll go ahead and hone this to fit this shaft here now, because this should not go on there right now.
Mm.
There you go.
Okay.
You have to use a big hammer, but
Yeah.
make it work for your bite.
Yep.
There you go. Don't drop it.
Okay.
Continue on. We're done. Roll them down. Okay. We're going that way. Looks like it's honing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a main bearing for the Hurley. I think I was rebuilding an Evo crank. Alright, you gotta find one that fits on this. No. No. That feels good. That doesn't fit. So we use these two. Coarse and fine.
Mm.
Instead of changing stones, we just have two mandrels.
Mm.
Quicker. And the machine don't want me to work today. Is that screwing me down?
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was. It's not just me. It makes sense why it's doing this. Something ain't right. Is you getting late? Yeah, that one fits. That one don't like me in there, does it?
Nope.
Alright. What did you do wrong, Dan?
It's got that thing on right here, and this one doesn't.
They're both on there.
Mm.
Should fit. I used it before. Just don't know what's screwing wrong today. Something does not like me today. See, that one fits perfectly fine. Just like it's supposed to. This one here wants to screw with me. I can't even force it either. That's even worse. Alright, turn that off. I gotta figure out what's going on. Whatever it was, it's fighting with me. It's in there though.
You got a coarser stone?
Coarse enough. It almost ripped out of my hand there. It eats you up a little bit when it rips free.
Does it?
So then make sure you hold on enough that it doesn't rip free.
Yeah, I know it.
Just damage to you. Get closer. Kind of going?
Trying to.
Yep. So that means you stop. Change stones up. I still don't know why that would even go in there. Here it goes in. Goes in. This time it won't go in. Yeah, see now it's not going. It's your fault, Dan.
Yep.
You're the one with the camera, it's your fault.
Blame it on me, I don't care.
This one works just fine, see?
Yeah.
Something about that one doesn't like me today.
Hmm.
Or doesn't like your part. It didn't like your parts.
No, didn't like my parts.
Cuts real good here and loose here. Stone's got some taper in it relative to the size.
There it goes.
So I have to make sure I do it to make it square. Slight bill mouth to it. Work the bill mouth out. Find that high spot over there where the hell it's at.
There you go.
Just do it right where you need it.
You got it. Perfect.
Yeah, you can't run it that tight.
You can't?
You can, but it might stick. You have to sticks.
Brakes.
Take the tranny back apart and hone it out bigger. You got a little bit of burr right here at the edge too. Then go back and get a little more honing. Can you guess how much you want to have it bruised?
I don't know. Just guess?
Pretty much. And it feels the same now as when I'm running in a couple more times. But we're going to run thick oil in this thing. Just make sure it's a little loose. It'll be slightly loose and stick. I've got a couple of sticks painting out.
Yeah.
Put the whole thing back apart and read on it. Just kind of locks up the tranny so you're locked in gear. You're locked into high gear right now.
Yeah. That looks like it's honed pretty good.
Yeah, there's a couple high spots in the shaft. Come over in here, there's some high spots.
Uh-huh.
I think what we'll do while we're out of here, we're going to go ahead and hone this. Smooth it up a little bit. So that'll be a different tool. So that'll be that tool down there. Use this nice oil-free rag here to clean my hands with.
Mm-hmm. You want a rag?
Did it look oil for you? So this is an external hone here. No. There it goes. That's the spot. Just drop it a couple times for the hell of it. A little bit of oil on there just for lube. Alright, let's go over the lathe over here. Turn the light on when you get over there. Unless that red light was on, you might not have been filming. So they might have missed all that.
No, I thought I had it on there.
Well, we'll find out when we play it back.
Yeah.
If we missed it, we just got done honing this. So now it's nice and smooth. You can see where the rust pitting was right down in here. There's something down here that's really digging it up. You can also see some marks in here.
And there's a high spot, right?
It was a high spot,
Yeah.
but the hone knocked it down to where
Right.
it's smooth. Because I was putting the bush, I could feel something binding on the bush and in the gear. See, now I'm not feeling it down there. It goes on freer all the way down. I'm not kidding. I was feeling just a little bit of something. It was loose enough it was not stopping it, but it had a high spot in there. Alright, go clean this all up, see what it looks like. Okay, we cleaned this all up. All looks good, but we still can feel a little bit of something in there when you're rotating it. But there is clearance in there. You can hear it in there, and you can see it down in between. Get where you see it in there. Yeah. Got to get it where you can see it, not me.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you got a little bit of movement on the shaft, so it's got a couple thou clearance. But it's just, there's something someplace that you can feel. The hone should make it really, really smooth and straight. See, you still got that little thing right there, but it's not much because see, there's no scratches in the bushing. If there's a burr hanging up, it'd be a big scratch as we go in and out. There ain't no scratches, so it's just something we can barely feel. Alright, so that's good to go there. Okay, come over here and look at our sealer. JB weld, you can see how it's self-level now. And I got the case at the angle, so it's just laying right in there like I want it to be. So we're going to let it sit overnight like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some Loctite on top of these studs here. So I'm going to use this 2-line-D Loctite, capillary action. So see, it says penetrating. It'll actually go down inside the studs in there and seal the studs out so they won't leak oil out. And so you just put a little drop like that on there. I have to lift the case up here to do this, but probably have to turn the light on to see in there. But just put a drip in there like that. See how it's sitting in there on the stud, on top of that stud? You have to zoom in real close.
Yep.
Use a zoom.
Where's the zoom at?
So we've been using this all night. You haven't figured out what the zoom button is? It's that thing right there. So you can see the Loctite sits up on top of the stud in there.
Yep.
So it'll go in there and seal it and suck into it. Now, where's the one? This is the one that we had to set in. So that one back there, I got to do the same thing to it. Should probably have a longer screwdriver to do this, but you have to touch it in the right spot or it won't make it. See how it goes
It's
in
in there, yep.
That one's only a little bit there, so I only put just a little bit on this. Doesn't need much. That's plenty. See how it just flows right around it? If there's any kind of a void, it just goes right into it. We'll get the back one over there. That one's a taller one, so you put a little more on it. Okay, it sucked it up pretty good, that one. Give it another dose of it. See how that one doesn't really have anything built up on it either. So it's like it's sucking it in. Sucks it in there. Put some more on it. When it doesn't want no more, it'll just puddle. Go back and put that up in this one. Oop. I hit it where I wasn't supposed to. Put a dab on the side of the race there. I might have put a little more shot there, even though it looks good. I'll just put some more in there. Alright, see what it looks like from my eyes now. Okay, all the studs look like they got a layer of Loctite sitting on top of them. Go ahead and put this back up in the air so this other piece will seal up. And you want to leave that flat because it'll just ooze out. So. Alright, so that's how we do that. We'll let that sit overnight. And then we go ahead and check the bearings in here and make sure this fits.
That's the bad JB Weld.
I don't know what that is.
What is that? Is it JB Weld?
It's JB Weld, but I don't know if it's bad or good. Now we did have that crack that was over here someplace. Where was that crack? So you can't really get Loctite in that crack. It's too dirty and oily. It won't stick. Before we put that plate on there, maybe we'll put some of this capillary stuff on top of the crack, let it soak in there a little bit. And it'll help seal the crack and make it a little stronger.
Okay.
But for now, we're good to go for the night. One more thing to do before we go home. Loctite this bushing in the cam cover. Or not cam cover, the shift cover. Because we're going to be cheap and we're going to run this thing until it blows up. So, you know, you spend a couple $100 for a cover we don't need to buy.
Or if the rest of the tranny goes out.
Yeah, the rest of the tranny will go out together. So.
Yeah.
We'll put sleeve retainer Loctite on there so it'll be good and tight. Okay, that'll set up overnight. This will set up in about 5 minutes when I come out anyway. So that's it for the night, I think. That was the last part I wanted to show. Except the Loctite did what it's supposed to.
Did it?
It's in there.
This is the bad Loctite, huh?
Soft still, but I don't know. It's a different color than mine. Flows in real nice. It still feels a little soft, but it's
A little tacky.
it feels tacky, but it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. It'll take another, tomorrow will be set up all the way, but we're going to put together today, so we don't care.
Okay.
So, hopefully that Loctite's set up.
Yeah, we get that nut off of there. Right. There it goes. It's off.
It's a good sign the nut came off, not the stud. So it's already working better than it was.
Yeah. All right, I'll put this over in the nut pile. Yep. Okay, we'll see how long this training lasts, man. If it lasts 1 day or 2 days or 5 years. Probably only gonna last a couple days.
It'll last longer than the old tank.
Yeah. With all the cracks that are in that thing, it ain't gonna last long.
Yeah, it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be good enough for you.
Alright.
Oh, I get the seals aren't going to leak, but we'll find that out too. So right now we're going to put the bearings in here.
You gotta put them in individually, right?
Yep.
These are the individual bearings Tatro's putting in the transmission.
You can do 2 at a time easily. 3 is hard. Helps go in the hole. So they go in over here. You got grease in there. Just lay them in there.
Yeah. You gotta lift and lay on.
Yep. So I'm doing 3 at a time there for a little bit. So if you grease holds them. There's 44 of them, so if you divide that by 2, how many times I gotta do this?
Bunch. Welds, cracks, JB weld, everything on this fucking tranny, huh?
It's got all the fancy shit done to it.
Like welds, cracks, JB weld, everything.
Alright, so get them all in there, see?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you see them.
Okay, now we take our gear, grease on it. Don't forget to put your washer in there.
Okay.
Very important. Put the grease on it. And we slip it down in the hole over here. Try to go in straight so you don't lose any bearings. That's it.
Too loose, huh?
It's got clearance. It'll work. It's not tight. So not being tight is always a good thing. Hopefully the seal doesn't leak. Push spool. You tell it's made out of aircraft aluminum?
Yep.
There's zinc chromate on it. Where's your big fancy ass nut? You don't have a stock nut, you only got the fancy nut, don't you?
There's a stock nut around here someplace we took off it.
That was a while ago.
Oh, that was a couple weeks ago, huh?
Come on. It doesn't want to go. Got the same problem before, it didn't stay. There it goes. Okay, that basically replaces the sprocket, so now the gear won't fall out.
Okay.
Otherwise the gear falls out every time you do anything with it. You can't put the sprocket in because we got to put all this other shit together yet.
Trick of the trade, huh?
Mm-hmm. And Jim's don't have that tool yet. Secret.
No?
Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
It's Tatro exclusive. My dad made that. See, I stole it from him.
Mm.
So nobody's gonna steal it from me, right? Bunch of thieves. Keep passing
Bunch
it
of
on.
thieves.
Keep passing it on.
Yep.
All right. Now we know we did this already.
Yep.
Now we don't have the third gear snap ring yet.
The one you tore up?
The one you screwed up, yeah.
Right.
You watched me screw it up.
Yep.
Same
Well,
difference.
screwed up. Same difference, huh?
Yeah, it's laying over there somewhere. We threw it in a junk pile.
No, we threw it away.
Oh, you threw it away?
Yeah.
You didn't keep it for prosperity? Or?
No, you said to throw it away, so I threw it away.
You listen to me again? Watch out for that. I'm gonna throw that away too. All right, you need a washer. Looks just like that one. You need a third gear, which looks like this. Very important parts you need. We need this one, which is right here. And we need a snap ring. Later on, we're going to need that and this. Okay, so now I gotta find the snap ring. So cut that off, I'll get me a snap ring. Some Loctite on the seal while we're at it here, just in case. Let this stuff kind of soak in. In case the seal wants to leak on the outside, this will help slow it down a little bit. See how it's running down the hill here?
Uh-huh.
This one's rolling behind, so you gotta put some more on there to speed it up. See how it's down to here now?
Yep.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Alright, I made it all the way around. Go back to the important work. Okay. Okay, this goes over this part here. The snap ring goes, the gear goes in here, the snap ring goes there. So we're going to work that way. This gear here fits through this case, so we can put it together as a unit. The one that doesn't fit through the case, you have to do this separately.
Put it through the case again.
You got to put it over here. This one goes through the hole.
There you go, I got a picture of it.
Not all of them do that. So.
Oh, okay. Not all of them do that?
Nope. Different ones have different sizes.
Hmm.
So have a little lube on that. Get that thing out of the way. We got the lube over here on the big side. So everything's lubed. So we can put that in later because we don't have to worry about it now. Got a big groove in there, you put some grease in there. When it spins, it's lubricated. Okay, so we go ahead and put it through the gear. We need our thrust washer. Got our snap ring. We need our shift dog. We need a shift dog. That's a fork.
Which one is it?
It's a dog. It goes bark, bark, bark.
Oh, that.
You can make sure you put high gear on the high gear side. Right here it says high.
Uh-huh.
So you have to put that toward high, not toward third.
Okay.
High gear. So you make sure it's marked right there. Goes to the high side. Goes like that. All of that goes together. Everything goes on there. When the snap ring gets there, it doesn't want to go any further, so you gotta screwdriver that on with a screwdriver. So just like we took it off, we had to put it on a little bit at a time. And I'll go the other direction. You can see it better. So you just have to get it over each spline individually.
want a candy bar?
Nope. Like a tranny done. Okay, now you take the shift dog and stick it over the spline and just shove it with your finger. Shove the snap ring all the way in.
Okay.
See it's in the groove now?
Mm-hmm.
Be nice if it was tight on that groove and not just loose like that, but the washer won't let it rotate, so it doesn't matter. So that slides over like that. So this gear here, we can easily go through the case here, otherwise we'd have to have that in there at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a little bit easier because it fits through the case, we don't have to do that. So that all goes over there.
Okay.
Now we gotta put the bearing on this side. So where's our bearing? Here's our bearing. Here's our holding sleeve. So these all have to go in there in the unit. Just tap it on a little bit all the way around. Work it on down.
And beat the fuck out of it, huh?
Yep. Try to do it straight. And this one goes on. And you get to do the same thing. Now this one is going around the shaft and the housing at the same time. We got to watch out though, is we make sure we don't break out the bushing from this other side. And that's a problem.
Is it moving?
Problem is we bottom out on the bushing before we bottom out on the gear. So all this beating I'm doing, I'm beating on the bushing over on the other side, which you don't really want to be doing. So that means you got to hold the shaft and hit the gear with your third hand that we don't have. So I'm holding the case up and the main shaft's against the table right now. Make sure you don't nick up the shaft. See, I have a nice smooth hammer here.
Uh-huh, so a claw hammer.
So it doesn't eat the shaft up. But when you get down to where the threads are, if you hit on the threads, they'll break them off. So you gotta make sure you don't hit on them. Get in enough, you can put threads in there, hopefully. Right now we are jammed up pretty heavily, which I don't like. I got a couple threads. Let me see if I can pull it onto the threads. Somebody didn't turn the air on yet over here. We got air now. Okay, this one's standard thread.
Okay.
So tightening tightens. Be careful about your fingers being in here. It'll cut and break them off for you. Okay, that pulled them in. See how it looks now? Looks like it's pretty much all the way in. Yep. We're going to take our lock, stick it in there, and put our nut back on it.
How'd you get all these cheap cars?
What cheap cars?
I think there's some guy at the house.
Okay, that's not full torque yet, it's just semi-torque. Now we have a lot of drag right now.
Uh-huh.
Turning the seal here is one problem, but the main shaft is relatively snug too for some reason. It's all that grease in it. It's free, but it's a little stiff.
Now, what'd you do just there?
Tapped it to let it self-align. I'm going to turn slightly better. It has drag on it. It's not it's not an uneven drag. It has a steady drag. You know, this has grease on it, like a seal load. There's no binding that you can feel.
So that's what cluster is this you're talking about now? What is that?
This is 1-2 cluster.
Okay, hold it. Those two are the 1-2 cluster?
Yeah, because it's first gear, second gear.
Okay.
Then you got third gear.
Third gear.
Main shaft, and you got fourth gear.
And fourth gear, okay.
The key is fourth.
And then you get the dog down there.
Yeah, you got shift dog.
Got a shift dog down there.
And that's a 3-4 shift dog, because you got 3-4.
Say that again?
This is third, this is fourth, so it's a 3-4 shift dog.
3-4 shift dog.
This here is your cluster gear, which is your counter shaft gear. This is your high gear, which drives the cluster. So it drives the counter shaft stuff. You can see how this one's all pitting out too. Now this will make noise in every gear except high. This is your third gear, this is your second gear, and then the big one over here is our low gear. So we got to change out this gear right now and then put the bearings in here. And the transmission, hey, this will get out of our way for right now. We're done with it for a minute. Anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the snap ring off to change out the second gear here. We're going to change it for a better used one. Here's the start of that out. See the start of the snap ring here. We're around the circle once. There it is over here. Yep, right there. So I just get my fingernail under it. Try to anyway. There it goes.
And that's the snap ring.
Yeah.
For the high gears or low gear?
For second.
For second?
So I just pull this up like that and come up over the lip. We just work our way around the circle. The last little tang is right there. I just pull it up. Bushing's still good, not binding. Here's our new second gear. Should just slip right over the bushing, no problem. There it goes. Make sure your thrust washer goes back. And your snap ring, if it's not all bowed up, it's usable. Put it back on.
You can reuse it?
You can reuse it.
I can use a new one?
Nope. Don't need to.
Okay.
You're cheap anyway.
Yeah.
No reason to replace it if it doesn't need to be replaced.
Yeah, I hear that.
Alright,
I put all my bikes together used.
there it's back together. So this is our junk gear now.
Junk pile.
Okay, let's take a break. See here. Oh, you're already recording.
Yeah.
Okay, we're chasing down an oil leak here that we have under the bike. I keep having a puddle down here. And before we went home last night, we cleaned this all up. Real good to see what was leaking. And we come in this morning and we have a drip coming off the bottom of our tank going down to our line and down to the bottom of the bike to the ground. So we came in, I cleaned this whole area all up just before I started working the tranny there. Cleaned up all around inside the oil tank up in here because it's all full of oil, and tightened it up a little bit more. And so now we let it sit for about 20 minutes. So now we come back and look at it. We can see the oil dripping off the nut, and you can see how it's feeding up to the fitting, but it hasn't got to the fitting yet. I'm not sure if that's something I can see with the camera or not, but you can see how the oil is seeping up in there a little ways. So we know the tank's not cracked. We know it's the oil line nut here is leaking, so that means the flare is probably bad, or the nipple in the tank's bad.
Yep.
So we have to drain the tank, take this line off, and then figure out what the problem is. Reflare it maybe a little bit, or put a little bit of silicone or something on the flare. Shouldn't have to do that, but obviously on this bike we do. But we had to trace what the leak was. So until you clean everything all up, you can't tell what the leaks are. So that's where we're at with this for now. So we'll have to worry about this here in a while once we get the training done.